Okay, today I'm going to talk about uh, m- uh, multi-level modeling methods using uh, R. As I mentioned before, I included the multi-level modeling into the uh, non-experimental relational research. So, among other relational methods, uh, simple ones like correlation and regression methods that actually run the model in one level. For example, as you look at some educational data around schools, you can see uh, student variables, classroom variables, and school variables that are in different levels. So in the simple methodologies for relational research that I would prefer to call it relational instead of correlational research, as I said before. Uh, Either in the simple traditional correlational and regression or multi-regression methods, or even in some more complicated methodologies like structure equation modeling methods that we use different software like Amos Lister, Smart PLS, or R. Uh, Typically, in these methodologies, we measure variables in one level. For example, as I said, in an educational context, you have students that gathers in a classroom and classrooms nested in school. So here, in a typical and more often multi-level modeling, we have a three-level three-level model like this. So variables for students, educational and psychological variables of students can be affected by the variables in other levels, including the classroom and school. Classroom variables. The most important one is about the teacher variables. Or in the student variables, besides the student variables, there are some variables about students' parents, like the teams and pairs data. You can see that there are some questionnaires for parents. So the variables measured from the parents level is also in the student level. So parents variables is also variables that is about student level. Like the well-known international data sets like Teams, and Teams is about math and science achievement, mathematics, and it's actually about trends in math and mathematics and science achievement. And we have also data sets like Pearls, that is also about reading achievement, trends in reading achievements in an international level. So in this, we have also other data sets like PISA, like NAEP. NAEP for United States, and PISA is also uh, is an international data set that can be used by researchers around the world. So in this kind of data sets, like the L's and teams, we have students and parents variables and questionnaires or some tests. The main tests of, for example, achievement tests like the tests of mathematics and science that held in teams, or reading tests that held in pairs. These are all variables that is about student level. We have also classroom levels variables that the main variables corresponding to this level is teacher variables. For example, psychological or educational practices variables that is measured on the teacher level. We have also the school level, the most important psychological and educational practices variables that is related to the school level is about the principles. Principles variables. The administrator, the dean of the school, the other principals, and officials of the schools, the variables, the actually about the colorics of the school are important, and these variables are related to the school. So in this situation where we have models that we are going to investigate the relationship of relationships of the variables corresponding to the upper levels like school and classroom variables, and we are going to study the effect or the relationships of the upper levels variables with the student level variables. We actually need to employ a methodology that is called multilevel modeling. In multilevel modeling methods, we have a variety of modelings, including the simple linear multi multi-level multi regression model that is an extension of the traditional multi-level regression models to the higher levels. For example, in this educational example model, the levels of students, classroom, and schools. This is the most simple model for a multi-level modeling. That is actually a multi-level regression model, which is linear and we have just a single criteria like the traditional regression model. In the traditional regression model, we have some predictor variables like this: x1, x2 to xp. We are going to predict a single criteria variable that is a dependent variable. We call it here y. We have also measurement. Here, let me just extend it like this. From x3 to xp, these are predictor variables. We have a single criteria variables that is dependent variable, and actually the diagram for a traditional multi-regression model and the multi-level regression model is the same, but the difference is that the predictor variables are from different levels. For example, you may actually the predictor variable, the criteria variable is at the level of student, okay, and the predictor variables may be from the student level, class level, and the school level. So the main difference of the actually traditional multi-regression model with the multi-level regression model is about the predictor variables, that the predictor variables are from different levels, but in the traditional multi-regression model, the predictor variables are from a single source. It may be confined to the student level, or the teacher level, or school level. This is common in the, as I said, in correlation and regression methods, in the structural equation modeling. This is the limitation. This is the main limitation that these methods have, that make you to use variables from a single level, which is not theoretically relevant in so many occasions. When you are going to make a conceptual model for your research, and you are doing actually the main process of problem statement in your research, you actually deal with variables from different sources and levels. And because of the limitations forced in traditional correlation and regression methods, or SEM modelings, that force you to use variable from a single source, or worse than it, to measure variables from a single source that make your measurement so confounded. For example, it's appropriate for you to measure a student variable from the student level, but as you are measuring variables from the teacher level, you have to ask teachers about some student variables that make your measurement not so relevant. So because of the limitations imposed methodologies. The multi-level modeling actually solves this limitation and provide you with some models that help you to investigate and study variables in different levels, like the educational example I said. It is also possible to make your multi-level modeling more precise and more sophisticated to actually include theories extensively. For example, you may want to use multivariate multi-level regression. If you, for example, in this example, if you include another variable as a criteria variable, you have two dependent criteria variables simultaneously in a multi-level multi-regression model. So besides the actually multi-level regression models, you may have variation for the multivariate versions of this model. It is also possible that you combine structure equation modeling methods with multi-level modelings. As I said, the multi-level regression models just study the direct relationships between the predictor variables and the criteria or the dependent variables. So you will still have limitations about investigating the indirect effects of the variables with the criteria variable or variables. So some packets in R like the Lavon package, if I spell it correctly, you can check it. The CRAN of R. This package provide you with some multi-level structure equation modeling that helps you to investigate variables from multi-levels in an indirect, for example, ways. For example, I'm going to not only investigate the direct relationships of the predictor x1 with the y1, I'm also going to mediate the relationship through the x2 variable. That is an indirect relationship. x1 through the x2 variable affect the y1 and the other do like this. For example, we may have multi-mediation variables. For example, the x2 and x3 mediate the relationship of x1 to y1. We have also the latent variable opportunity in a social equation modeling that is also available in multi-level modeling methodology. So these developments in the domain of the relational research provide researchers with a variety of methodologies to test theories in psychology and education and behavioral social sciences. So actually these methodologies solve some problems related to older methodologies that cannot account the problems before. So in this kind of methodology, we have the most developed methodology that which can investigate theories with different variables at different levels. Okay, so far so good.